And Bobman's gonna be late too.
We're both late.
I'm already late.
That beautiful summer weather.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't have my glasses. I ain't gonna see nothing.
I remember one time that happened to you. I think you'll be good. You're gonna give him your glasses.
Give you a good night.
Oh, yeah. Hey, that's not pretty good.
So, full service here.
Yeah, I'm blind too.
Let's get started. Quarter after?
Yep.
16 after. Public. Public got any comment out there?
I only have one item.
Fire
and
away.
that is, I talked to the people for the dumpster that we have for pancake breakfast weekend. I just wanna make sure, do we want it up here Wednesday for delivery, or do we want it Thursday? And all I have to do is confirm it with them, they're local, so it's not gonna make a big difference.
This doesn't matter to us. I don't think it. Dave, we,
It's going up here still,
It's gonna sit like right over here, like we have in the past, if that's okay.
in the parking lot here.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, you just gotta just tell me which day it is so we can call it off, so.
Do you want it Wednesday or do you want it
That's fine.
Thursday?
Wednesday's fine.
Wednesday's fine?
I just need to know so I can throw phones out.
Okay,
Yeah,
Wednesday.
fine.
I'll come Wednesday. There you go.
that's it.
That's it. I have nothing else.
Ma'am, do you have anything?
She's on the agenda.
She's not on the agenda.
Yes.
Well, then we'll get to you. Treasurer's report.
Treasurer's report. We have a current balance of $181,940.12. And then I also included the budget versus spend and actually writing the last checks of the fiscal year tonight. So that will be reflected in the report next month. Any questions about spend versus budget?
I remember there was a couple of questions we had when you weren't here, but I don't remember what they were.
On the draft budget, was there a question, or on the spend versus?
It was draft, I think.
Okay. So at the bottom of the first page is, all the stuff that were recently, on the 428 that we approved, I added those in the expenditures approved during the fiscal year. Some of those checks I'll be writing today, because we have the bills.
I think it was the merchandise sales. So, well, that was. Like it was budgeted for the permits.
The merchandise sales is budgeted as an income.
Right.
It's
So
not-
what kind of merchandise? I was.
I know there was lots of ideas when we created this budget last year about T-shirts or somethings
Okay.
or things that we were potentially going to sell. And we did not.
We still gotta buy glasses, right? Not these kind, but the ones you drink beer out of.
In the expenses.
Yeah.
Those,
And that could be. Right?
if we sell the cups and then that becomes merchandise that we sold, potentially.
I mean,
Either that or that would be a major event revenue.
right,
That, which, last year when we developed this, there was recommendations of us bringing in revenue other than the TIFA.
other than trying to make some money.
And that was a step towards that. And, the project revenues, we did end up earning $56. I think that was the homecoming
Yeah.
photos and stuff. But aside from that, these goals that were set for revenues, we have not met those. And, you know, the fiscal year ends today, so we will be meeting those.
We'll roll.
Great.
We just.
Now on the fiscal year, the draft budget that was reviewed last month, I just carried those over. Assuming if we had those goals last year, that we would move them forward as goals this year.
So, any other questions on, or do we? Have a motion to accept it?
I make the motion, we approve the budget.
Second.
Treasurer's report.
Report.
We got a motion and a second, all in favor? Anyone opposed?
I'm printing the minutes right now. I don't know why they didn't. Okay, it. Okay. I looked it up earlier for you and I'm like, they were there. I mean, I was
Looking for anything that I needed to add.
okay, that's why she couldn't see it.
We can approve them, even though we haven't seen them.
You can't?
Oh, that's right.
And I understand that the budget was approved as it stands from the draft to, okay. And then do I need to do anything for you?
Like that.
For the city?
I took it to the city and they approved.
Okay, all right.
I'm hanging out there like my rights of rope.
Every week.
Is that chair the tip?
It's the one, it's the
Every-
nasty one.
I can use that one.
Replace this.
When I get a new chair, you can have a new chair.
I'll give you this one.
that's probably my old one.
We'll wait for the minute then. Must be Karen.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do some new business and Karen is here. Go ahead.
What would you like me to do? You want me
You-
to stand up or
you-
just stay
You
here?
can stay right there, you're
Whatever you
fine,
prefer.
whatever you wanna
What
do,
do you prefer?
yeah.
Karen Parzak, I work for Dork Financial Credit Union. I am the branch manager in Owasso. I serve in Owasso on their DDA, board and a couple of committees. I, am also an ambassador with the Shiawassee Regional Chamber of Commerce. Where I met, Jordan Hankwitz, and he is from Laingsburg. He let me know that Laingsburg has no financial institution anymore. ATMs are kind of limited from what I understand. And I just thought I would stop out, kind of visited with some of the businesses already, just to say hi, and see if there were any ways that Dork could help. If there's enough interest in, if the specialists we work with, are okay with it, the end goal would be putting either some sort of satellite branch in here, or even, what we call an ITM, an interactive teller machine, which is similar to actually talking to a teller, but it looks like an ATM. Would have more functionality than an ATM, would do more than just 20s. Would do smaller denominations, it would do hundreds, it would take deposits. So just kind of here to spread the word. I got some information on Dork, both personal and business accounts. And I just wanted to see if you guys have any questions that I could answer.
So that thing you were talking about, would that be in a business front somewhere here, or would it be in a building that you would?
Or could it be drive-through, like we had it to where
I've
the
seen,
location
yeah,
where people could drive up without getting out of their vehicles or?
right now we have both over in the Flint area. Our,
Smaller communities?
well, they're all in the Flint area.
Okay,
But we have branches currently in, Clarkston, Lake Orion, Clio. And they all have both the branch and the drive up ITMs. So I don't know what we would be able to get approved to come here. But I fully understand how problematic it is for any size business to not be able to get quarters when you need it, if you're working with the public, right? So I can't make any promises.
We got lots of quarter, the guy just raised his price.
Well-
We got lots of quarter.
Okay.
He'll make change.
But we're competition for quarters.
I'll sell them to you.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So the interactive, is it the kind that like between the normal banking hours, someone could come up and if they wanted to put their stuff in and didn't need any help, they could, but if they did, they could actually push a button and there'd be another person on the other side that
Yeah,
they could see.
Yep.
I feel like there are some people that would be.
They are going to be awesome.
they are convenient. And it's, yes, it's a live video teller on a screen, an actual person sitting in frame blank. We have them in our branch in Owasso, if you guys wanted to actually check out what that looks like. Again, I'm working with my senior leadership. I'm not making any promises. But I've put it on the radar. I'm doing my due diligence, trying to figure out what the cost would be. But I need to see like what kind of real interest there would be in that. Not just using it, but also gaining some memberships. So, it's like a partnership both ways.
I think when we lost our bank, Paula was at that time working here, and she went around and actually had people commit that they would give their money and stuff to try to entice. Is that something that would be beneficial for us to start?
It could be to demonstrate that there really is an
There
interest
is
in
money here
a
that,
stronger partnership with Dort. And I'm not just here because I'm trying to like build deposits and get new business memberships. I'm here because I legitimately feel the pain in this area. I come from a really small town in Wisconsin. For the most part, there was no financial institution there, and it was the same thing. We had to drive half an hour in any direction to get to the nearest financial institution. In that town, my aunt, who I'm the namesake of, has a florist shop. 20 years ago, it was very cash heavy. And she was in the same boat. She couldn't get the help that she needed from a financial institution without taking a large part of her day and running to town. So.
Had a bank here forever until
Huntington.
no more. Now we
And
have,
then now.
and now it's been gone.
Yeah,
We're not the only community, small community that, I mean,
I think our ATMs would kind of. Be there.
Well, the problem with the ATMs here is none of them are depositable. They can't deposit it into them. They're all withdrawing.
Yep.
So it helps no business that way.
yeah.
None.
Yeah.
I mean, I know for us, it's, we have to hold on to money twice a month. City and so twice a month, and then we have to drive 15-20 miles to get to the bank.
Yeah.
And I have been trying to go, I have been to the chamber meetings, I probably Karen knows who I am.
Yeah.
But trying to get something to where we can actually help bank in our town.
Your presentation,
Yeah,
like 2-3 months ago.
yeah,
Was kind of what put it on my radar. Dort's all about it. One of our mission, vision, values is enriching the lives of our members, community, and employees as well. And we're super active in the communities in which we exist. So that's why I get to be on all the boards and committees and be an ambassador, because Dort sends me out to the world 50% of my week. We're all about supporting communities. And I'd really like to try and do something more significant here. And at least try to get you guys an interactive teller machine. What that looks like from a drive-through perspective, in a building, out of building. That's about my pay grade, but I'm fighting to get one for you guys.
is there any way that you could do something on the internet through Laingsburg's, what is it, Facebook page to put out there the question of
Oh, yeah.
would
Get the
Would there
feel
be
of
any
it more
support
about it.
or is there any support? Put the question out and see if you get
Yeah.
an explosion of response that we could literally hand to
Yeah.
you to show you the response or email it over to her
Yeah.
and say, here you go. There is, yeah, I mean, we just literally put this out here and got this, and you may not get any, I don't know, but it's worth whatever little bit it would be to put it out,
Yeah, yeah.
to ask the question.
I talked to a lot of people around there.
I mean, there's a ton of people.
They're all like, I hate going out there, and then he has to hold checks. And like she said, 2 months and then go when you have a bunch of them. And I'm thinking,
Yeah.
they're like, why can't we get a bank? Why can't we get a bank? I was like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
you can do check deposits in the video tellers. You don't have to be a member of DORA to use the ATM, and I'm 99% sure you could still do deposits, because I understand that there are some institutions here, companies that are perfectly happy with their banking, and they don't want to move their whole account. They're happy where they are. I get that. But if there is
A convenience that would help them.
exactly, and we could be as full service as possible, I still can't help you guys with quarters. You're gonna have to go for your neighborhood quarter dealer.
There's a change out at the downtown,
Yeah,
a change maker.
the change artist.
Call it, I've been called a lot of things. That's a compliment.
Well, back when we had a bank, I was doing business there, I think the majority of businesses all bank.
Well, and that's kind of what I've been hearing as I was out, like, everybody has an account with Huntington. Whether they're, not everybody, the majority has an account with Huntington, and even though they are maybe not happy with their service. Why are you gonna go through the trouble of changing institutions and still have to drive to Owasso or Perry or wherever you guys are going to next?
I think they just go for the convenience of whatever was here.
Yeah.
That's one that I know, we know 2 people that say. We went to Huntington is because it was in our town.
Yeah.
Right.
Now they have to go outside of town to go to Huntington.
Well, maybe we'll, Kim's a wizard at, and she's usually not that busy either. So she loves suggestions from our board.
Playing on Facebook all day, that's.
And she's on there anyway,
Yeah.
doing nothing.
Yeah.
Might as well throw a little information out there and see if we get any information back. And then we'd happily feed along to you.
Great.
Okay,
Anything you guys can come up with that I can hand to my leadership and say, look, this is how many times we think it'll get used. These are, people who are legitimately interested in opening an account with DOR, either personal or business. Those are some of the things that we've got to balance, because bringing in an ITM is making sure that it's secure, setting up network, maintaining it, putting cash in it, insurance on it, like, it's no small thing to bring one in. But if there's enough interest, you might be able to get it to happen.
all right, thank you.
Good.
Okay. You wanna go, let's go back to the minutes real quick. Anybody have to change anything in the minute?
I have a question about the minutes.
Fire away.
So in the minutes, it's showing that there was a, motion made, to order cups for the social district not to exceed $400.
Going a different route.
Okay, because the last one we had for cups was 3,000.
We're going a different route.
Okay,
A real big different now.
yeah, I guess, okay. I was wondering, is it in
400
addition
wouldn't have
to?
covered it.
No, we approved 3,000
About a better choice.
previously, and then we approved 400, so I wasn't sure if it was 3,400 now, or if we were just going, if we voted for something that's under the budget. It's already approved.
So this motion, do we need to,
No, you'll just go change it. to-
okay, we don't need to amend it
Do
or,
we have those, the stickers? Okay.
so in the minutes themselves can be accepted as they're written.
Thought they looked good over there.
I wasn't here, but I.
Soon as I-
Motion to approve.
Oh, wait,
Motion And a second,
yeah.
Greg seconds it, so all in favor? Anyone opposed? Yard signs,
So, the first thing that we, or the second thing I guess that's on that sheet is a plaque for the back of you guys' sign that you purchased for the parking lot. That will say donated by the DDA. You thought, there's nothing on there that says anything like that, well, we got a price for that.
That's the sign around.
Yes. And then we were thinking that it would be nice to have, little yard signs that will have a QR code on them. That say either sponsored by the DDA or, like the pocket park, it'll say, done by the DDA, and then we'll take it to the webpage. Or the Facebook page, and it will show what's all on there and what the DDA is doing.
these would be just removable signs that would be positioned in a
Yeah.
different location.
Yeah. So you could use them for.
So not real
anything.
expensive.
Like flower
bed
Yeah, so and you could also move them, I mean, they'll be for anything, because they'll go right to the website. So that we just got a quote and get some, there's all too many of them, I think, but I'll get them the price, I shoot order that many, so. But the original is a sign to the back of the sign.
What is calendar vinyl?
That's, sign.
Just really, was there vinyl with laminate? That's was one of those.
It must be like what Tanks had off before they opened, like
Oh, that's the big, the sign that we're gonna have behind the, on the actual sign, behind it.
so it's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
attached
you
to
said
the
a
sign.
flat. Oh, so it's like said a flat, and then I'm like, what is this vinyl?
Well, I guess, yeah, it's on black.
Is it like permanent?
Yeah.
Okay. That's not what I can picture.
I'm not sure. I
I'm
think
picturing like
it
a
must-
vinyl thing with little things in the corner. I think.
Oh, no, it'll go right on the back of the sign.
Oh,
it'll
it'd
be
be
permanent.
adhered to it?
Yes.
Okay, so.
Cause we're like, you guys are paying for that, nobody's gonna know. who paid for that. So, and then this will face the parking lot, so everyone will see that the DDA paid for this.
It's usually been the problem all along. We've never really advertised that we've done it, but
Yeah.
people didn't know. They
Yeah.
just thought the city did.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, so this was, we were brainstorming.
And then the yard signs will have a QR code and be what?
They are just like regular yard signs that you see, and then they'll have a QR code that goes right to our website on the DDA page. So whatever you want, so say the Summerfest is going on, it'll go to the DDA page and we'll have all the Summerfest stuff. Or
nice.
if we, with the Pocket Park, it'll go to, we'll have all the stuff about the Pocket Park on the website. You'll click right onto the DDA part of the website. Oh, city's website.
So these 10 are gonna have different QR codes, or they all go
They
to
can,
one?
no, we'll change the website as we need it.
Oh, I see, okay, gotcha. This will always go to the same place, but the content of the website will
Yeah.
change.
Like the landing page or
Yep,
whatever.
Okay.
yep. Fabulous. So we can, use them. Multiple times and over and over.
$533 for it, that's it.
Total. For both.
So.
We have a motion
I'll second.
and a second. Motion and a second. Go ahead.
Will it have the stakes with the
Yeah,
signs?
it's the whole thing.
I would say based on my experience, make sure that those steaks are the quality steaks.
Bigger
is-
ones.
Yeah, we
because,
haven't gotten a sample or even a
yes.
picture of it yet,
Because if
so
we-
it's
if-
kind of.
Pay them a little bit and get the nicer ones.
Yeah.
If we're gonna be using them. Moving them, but.
We have a motion and second, all in favor? Anyone opposed? Okay, that's taken care of. Motion to approve renewal of the Main Street American.
I make the motion.
Yeah, I second. I think that's great.
$150. We're still new. So that will go up.
Motion and a second,
Yeah,
Yep.
sure.
all in favor? Anyone opposed? Social district sign. And super simple. Almost as bad as flowers.
We're picking one of these?
No, these are what I've made up for every business that wants to participate in the social district, so. Yeah, we'll have that for the people that, where it's sold here, there's one that says sold here, there's one that says welcome here, and then there's one that says can't come in here. So, these are all signs that we're gonna make for each business, and then, those will go, I think, in the bars, the one that's the do's and don'ts. Just so people, when they're getting it, they can see that sign,
Well, at least they can read it too and figure it out, maybe.
yes.
Cause
Yeah,
there's gonna be a
I mean,
bazillion questions, no one is gonna read this, I guarantee it.
Yeah,
I'll say, I got that.
you can go.
Read
look
the
at
sign.
Read your sign.
Read your sign.
The one that says you're entering and exiting, that's gonna be the, what you call it, that's gonna go on the actual, yes, the stencil. That will be the stencil that we'll put on the sidewalk.
Now, will we
Maybe
have enough
interest-
time to do that before? Summerfest?
Yes, all of this is gonna be done. You just have to approve it and then we're gonna start making them and.
And you're making these,
Yes,
Did we have a supplies for this?
no, we don't know how much it's gonna cost. It's probably not gonna cost much because we're doing all the work there and making the signs.
May I borrow some pennies? So on Saturday night on Summerfest at 11 o'clock, when people are wandering around,
Right.
they have to go into the bars at that point at 11 o'clock.
Yes. It's only from this time to this time, and then they have to be into their regular designated.
Ah.
So and then this,
Didn't know.
we're gonna spread out throughout the town so
Based on
everybody
that.
knows what's a map, where they can go, the yellow is the map. But, we're gonna try and put those on actual signs that get attached to like poles and stuff throughout the city. And then this, that's pretty. Don't you like those colors? Janelle put this, so, but this isn't right, but this is what we're looking at. We're gonna try and make these as big as like what the carnival does, like the big ones.
Right.
So, we're planning on getting these done hopefully this week and then start sticking them in all the businesses so that people know that it's coming.
So do you want, do we have a guesstimation of what we need to maybe throw out there, or do?
We have no idea because we're doing it all in here, so I don't think it's gonna cost. Danelle has all these crafty things that she can do. So she's gonna, cut the stencil for so that's. I mean, besides, the city's paper, I mean, we don't really have an idea of what it's gonna cost. I just need to get these, and we can start on them. I mean.
So do you,
Cardboard.
you need us to approve it? But do we put a small amount of money with
You
it?
can,
Okay.
but I don't think it's gonna be anywhere near $200. So
I was gonna say
that's-
$300.
Yeah, that'd be too much.
Well, I mean, okay, up to $300. Michael? You're gonna make a motion?
Yeah. But I do have one thing on the social district, the boundaries.
Mhm.
Down Roosevelt Road, up and around, but like it was said before, you can extend that over the park. Now,
We can when we amend it, but it has to be done through them and we have to have it at a time. And
Okay.
I mean, they approved that very quickly, like it's not like the other stuff what we have to do. The social district was, but I asked her about that and she said, you just have to amend it when you want to do it.
And one more question, this all yellow. What's that?
It's a little square up there that gives.
I see that, it just says social district.
That is where you can actually.
Oh,
walk
okay,
with
and the
your
rest of it, you have to stay in the yellow walking
Yes.
around.
Yeah.
You can go across,
Yes,
but you cannot.
well, for Summerfest, the road, the street's gonna be closed, so they can walk in the street.
Okay,
Which
Got it.
I probably could add on to that one, yes, if roads are closed. and so on.
Is this going out to people?
No, I'm hoping it goes on, we're gonna try and get it on a sign that's like up on things so that people can see when they're walking, they can see where they're.
Maybe if you add. Like I know people should know, but if they're not from here, like the. Stopping point. Like if it stops at Leonard's. That, so they know where the heck they're at.
Oh, well, with the street signs are. But. I know, I tried to make it simple because if you put everything in there, they'd be like, where is the heart? What's it?
Sorry.
Yeah, we could tweak it.
I don't know,
but,
I'm just thinking.
It's hard, it was really hard to get this.
And then is this
Honestly,
Twilligers and Twilligers parking lot, or is it Twilligers and tanks?
There's
Both.
no parking.
there's
lot.
no parking lots allowed.
It looks like it's behind PvP.
It's PvP.
thing.
It's where the tent.
Okay, oh.
It's.
If you get caught, just flip the cop $20, you're good.
Yeah.
He's not gonna all roll either.
Mike's name.
I mean, we did have one that was
Like
like
something.
a picture of the national, like all the things. And it's like, it gets lost.
Too small.
Yeah, when you have all of the parcels on there and labeled and, but I did think about just doing the bars.
Yeah.
But then I was like, no, you know, the other businesses are participating too, so then you'd have to put all of the businesses in there and then you run out of room and. We're still.
Maybe the stop sign is there, maybe.
That's where it stops, right?
The
Like
Woodhawk.
No,
Or-
the-
All right. First, I agree, let's do it.
Support.
We have a motion to give Kim the green light to proceed forward, and we'll $300. We'll give her $300 for some expense cost. And a second. Like Conklin.
Yep.
All in favor?
I
No one opposed.
That's a pretty split.
All right, we're making progress.
300.
Yeah,
got all this, okay, good.
so that's your final plan for the Summerfest?
Signs.
Oh, I mean signs, those do signs, final plans for the Summerfest.
That's what else going on, just making sure everybody.
On the same page?
Yes.
Is everybody on the same page or?
Where are we off to next?
Pass the word.
I think,
I thought he just said.
We need classic
Everything is-
vehicles. Pass the word. I need classic vehicles
oh,
for the car show.
I only got 3.
If you can, please.
they'll be up for
We will, I will have flyers going out and they'll be up this week. And then I haven't, but I will start blasting it as much as I can, but
It's on the Laingsburg page and all that.
I have not, the car show, yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean, we've been,
nowadays, that wonderful thing of the internet is better than the old word of mouth nowadays.
yeah. Just to let you all know, but pancake breakfast, we're good to go. Our show, we're good to go. Other than that, I think we're pretty well. Business Expo, if, just an FYI, if you're a member of the LBCA, you can have a free booth. So the Business Expo will be out here, which will lead right up to the art walk and everything over here at the park. So I have right now about maybe 6 people. So But we can load them all the way over here to this bar, so. Any youth organization, any of them is on, it's either if you're a member, you're free, if you're a non-member, it's $10.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
That's all I have. And then
So the pocket park down here, actually I was supposed to meet Boyd at 6 o'clock, but
Is at the bar, don't worry.
yeah. So it got sprayed if no one noticed. For dandelions. And they killed them.
I saw that.
There's a lot of people out there who believe that, too.
That's what I told them. So we're gonna meet either tonight or tomorrow and, we're gonna strip it, grade it off or whatever. I've got the information kind of what we have purchased at this point. So there'll be cement pads for each of those ones that have been purchased. And we did not purchase this chest thing that she has on here. But I wanna pour that and do that now. And you can purchase them later if you want, or you can make a motion and purchase them now. Up to you guys. Looks like you got twice that on them. Is that correct?
Guys, I put the picture of the guy, because when I originally thought 25 inches, I thought, well, those are big enough. And then I saw the guy standing there, like, those are little. So I went, so I found the bigger one, which are, more money, but I was like, the 25 inch ones was.
Oh, the big ones, yeah.
Yeah, and they're not gonna. Like bigger, but that's.
So
I
there's-
listed it for reference.
There's 2 picnic tables. There's 1 bagel. There's 1, I guess you call it planko, is that what you call it, or? Okay, 1 of the planko, and then there's 1 of the ladder ball. Do you guys think that I should maybe pour a couple of more pads for another ladder ball, another bagel, or because the time to do that kind of would be, even if you don't purchase them right now, if we kind of lay it out, like put them, there'd be another bagel, set of concrete there, put another set up and another ladder bar if you wanted. And then also I'm gonna put this chest thing, I'm gonna build it now, which is just a slab of concrete basically, and all laid out and cut for all the squares. And we'll have Bates or somebody come in and paint either every other one or just one of every other one to get the 2 different colors. Or I just do exactly what we have purchased and leave it at that. But the plan is to make that concrete pads be there and done, and when they go to mow, we're just gonna go in there and mow. Won't be in there weed whipping and edging, and then they're gonna be able to just go in there and mow it off and zip back out of there. I'm gonna bring the grade up to be hopefully nice and flat with new grass. That's the plan.
You
It
have
would
to-
make sense to do it now because it's cheaper to do it now.
I agree with that one.
Well, and if you're gonna go back in there and pour another 2 chunks of concrete, you gotta. So I was thinking maybe at least a couple more
No.
sets of things.
You say you got the ladder, you got the bago and all that stuff.
That's what we have now.
Are you gonna have someplace to put that stuff in? Or is it just gonna stay out there?
This concrete is going there.
Like for the bags
Well,
and
this was something I was
And
thinking
the
about, same
balls.
thing. So if you have these chest pieces and the bags and the ball and whatever else you're gonna have, other checker, whatever. Is there,
You almost need a shed out there.
Well, how the heck do
I
they?
agree.
I'm worried about somebody
You're gonna
coming
have
with
to have
those
cameras, you're gonna have to have.
chest
And a
pieces,
sign that says,
And
you are being
somebody-
watched.
taking them because somebody would like to have them, and also, how heavy are they?
it's a nice
Because if you get a storm
They're
coming
not
through,
stu- They're,
Said plastic.
yeah,
It's all
there are
that.
plastic, but you can put sand or water. in it. So
Okay.
them heavier.
Okay.
Just.
but they're supposed to not be like super light that they
Okay.
pile up. But yeah, you can put sand in it.
You're gonna, there's no doubt at all that what they're, some of the pieces that you're gonna need to do the games are gonna get broken and they're gonna get graffiti.
Well, the only reason why I was
They're gonna
saying that,
disappeared.
the only
I
reason why I
want to
was,
say stole, but they're gonna disappear a little.
you're gonna need, probably want a cement slab for either a shed.
Yeah.
Well, that
or
was another
something to
thought,
Put it in.
was, I thought, that's what, do you think that that would be a good idea to do that there, Dave, or not?
Shed.
A shed, similar to what maybe she has down there, so we
Yeah.
pour a pad over in the corner,
Yeah, where the paint.
8x10, whatever, 10x20 pad, to set a shed on, and then that stuff goes in and out of there.
Make it look nice.
I think so. Cause those will be everywhere. I mean, who's gonna monitor
The
it?
very big
Well,
one.
who can build the shed? Cause we need a good builder.
Well, we're not building one, we're gonna do.
You wouldn't need one very big.
Yeah.
because
Ours is
I-
fabulous.
Don't really have.
It's expensive, but
Too much
it's
to
fabulous.
store in there, cause I don't think you're gonna. Cause the problem with putting them in there. And locking it,
Yeah,
is you gotta have somebody to unlock it when somebody wants it, and that, you know.
I mean, you don't
defeats the whole
necessarily have to
purpose.
lock it.
Couldn't you
Well,
put a
no, it's
It's
camera?
kinda, right.
That's why you're gonna have to either put up a fake camera with a big sign or do the
Right.
camera, because that will deter people from
Yes.
stealing.
Yeah.
So if you do a motion camera inside, if they come and get the chess pieces and they put them back, you have witness that they put them back, right? Or are we just leaving them out?
Most
there?
people probably just leave them out.
Well, I think the chess pieces are gonna be, if you go with a big one, I think it's big enough where
You don't think?
I'm just
the
worried.
whole thing,
Make it
I
something.
don't overstate never, but like all the bags and the things that, you know, are smaller and easier to just walk off, but I mean. I just.
so anyway, there's gonna be more, there's gonna be more expense to this than what we've spent so far. And I'm not charging anything to do whatever I'm gonna do, and I think I've got Boyd on board to kind of help me. I have the concrete guy who did the concrete work, he's gonna help me. So as far as any labor costs, we're not gonna have any there.
Sounds good.
No sheds involved yet, but there's gonna be a pad there to put a shed on.
Yeah, the
That's all I
pad-
was thinking about doing, at
The
least put a
pad
pad there.
maybe makes perfect
And
sense.
then you can buy a shed and we'll put it there.
So
Or
then
we
if
build one, something.
we do another bag so that 4 people can play at a time, they'll be near each other, and
Right.
then we can plan for this, although. It didn't seem like $1,000, 878. Didn't we order extra bags for the bag though that we got before? I felt like we talked about how. stuff
We
was
may
gonna-
have, I can't remember. But
So I'm gonna lay it out, and I'll lay it out so that there's, let's just say, an extra bago and an extra, either a ladder thing or the connect to 4.
well, you guys have talked about, you know, like adding a piece every year, putting in there, so I mean. They can
mean,
run
when
it
all
in
this-
the folder I have with the pictures, if anybody wants to, if you wanted to vote on what your next purchase is gonna be, so that you have the measurements to do it.
Well,
So
I know
you
what
more
those
than-
are that we have. Would you go outside the realm and do the foosball table? that was one of
There
them.
was, yeah, there was a foosball, there was a ping pong table, there was.
I think the ping pong table is just not even a good idea.
Tables that have
Yes.
these checkerboard.
Correct.
Right back again.
Yeah, they're checker it back in.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna pour pads for each of those. We have 2 of those. Beer pong table.
So district.
Could turn into that, I guess.
I feel like this is kind of a big thing to replace, like, so what happens if one piece is missing?
You make your kids stand, right?
You're the bishop.
They collect money as people drive by.
I think it is popular, but it is a concern.
Right.
There's more maintenance to this than there is to say bags. Just
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Bags,
bags,
you
you
can
can-
easily
Yeah,
replace bags, right?
Replace all
So
of
then,
the other parts.
You know, how many
for the
bags
puzzle.
though, if you did, you know, the city did a bag tournament or something, then a few sets would be a cool idea, but. I think if you are thinking you might do anything like this in the future, you want the pad there.
The other thing, if the pad's there and you don't even do the chest, the pad's there. And this isn't big, it's like 12, the original one was 9x9, but I think I'm gonna make it like 12x12. So it's not huge. I'm gonna put it against the bank, old bank, building. Right against the wall of the mural.
We can put pretty plants on it in the meantime.
Yeah.
Or if another picnic table needs to come
Regular.
in or whatever, they can be put on there or something else. If you don't do the chessboard, cause what I'm gonna do is cut lines to make a checkerboard. But they won't be painted or anything unless,
We
Buy
decided
the
to go on
chessboard.
that line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'm down for that.
so you're gonna have some
We have to
cost in
stipulate
concrete.
what-
We gotta buy
what
some
comes out of
concrete.
this and, well, but
And we're I bought some 2x4s, it was $160 or whatever, and I'll just bring a receipt, and I'll bring the receipt for whatever the concrete bill is. And then we're gonna have some topsoil and some seed, either, I'm gonna try to get a guy to hide seed it for us for nothing, or at least next to nothing, so whatever we can get.
Yeah.
So there's gonna be a little cost, I'm guessing, a couple $1,000. In what I'm doing.
You also could see how all the rest of the stuff stays, and you know, that people.
That's the other thing.
And then maybe use the chest next.
I do think the chest is more eye catching.
Yeah,
Coming
that- I
down
think
there
that would-
and.
Everybody be going like, what are they doing?
Yeah, that's the only thing I do feel like it be more catching than some of the other items that we
Yes,
just said.
they're all just concrete and don't, are colorful. or-
Maybe you
Yeah.
just do this once. And
And
if
it becomes
you
a
have it set, you decide at that point if these are.
By
fitted
checkers
for
next
fitted,
time.
You just,
By checkers
Yeah.
the next time.
but you just remove the pieces and look for yard art.
Yeah.
I mean, but then you can use it for anything. You could put a just regular picnic table on it, or maybe you change your mind and you.
What was the old thing that? With the,
Oh, shuffleboard.
shuffleboard.
with the.
Oh,
yeah,
that'd
it
be
was
a
The
great
big
one.
giant one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
People love that.
Oh, yeah, that's comfortable.
that, I think that's
Yeah.
gonna take quite a bit of
A lot
time.
of people would like that.
Don't you use the stick and the puck?
Stick and a puck, yep.
Look at that tomorrow. I'm just.
While you're on Facebook.
That's all I need to do.
Okay.
Two sticks.
All I need to know again is just the pad, the length and width of them.
I'm sure the other stuff.
Yeah, you just buy them, those pieces.
That's actually a good
Yeah.
idea. A lot of
Maybe
people
cheaper than life size.
Well, older people. can
And people
play
know
it.
how to play that more than chess sometimes.
Right.
really.
Yeah, you aren't wrong.
Yeah.
You're probably totally spot, but we for sure are gonna do extra pads for bags.
I'll do extra pads for bags.
And then whatever
I'll
we,
just do another extra set of pads for either your planko or your ladder ball,
Yeah.
whatever that might be. And then that's probably not a bad idea to do the shuffleboard thing. Maybe we can put a pad for that. And we'll do a pad for the chessboard again. And like I said, I'm just cutting it. So it's a checkerboard and you can use it any way you want, or you don't have to buy any pieces. You'll set another picnic table on it or two. Okay. And but I'm gonna and I'll have you come down and look when we get them all set up. Say, hey, it's good, but I think of the shed kitty corner in that far corner facing kind of to the park or whatever. A small shed.
Free is
Yep.
it's all white there on the
Yep.
camera, it doesn't look like it's finished.
So what I'll do is just bring receipts for whatever it is, and if somebody ends up wanting a little money for some fuel and that stuff, I'll just bring a receipt for that too. Cause which I don't blame them. I mean, if they're gonna donate their time
Sounds good.
to get your machinery there, or whatever,
Cost some money.
a little bit of money, yeah. Okay, that's the deal with that.
Did we do the final plans for Summerfest?
Are we?
Is there,
Well, it's on the list.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I just wanna make sure.
You just want to make sure everyone's on the same
Everything's a
page.
go, everything's where it's supposed to be.
I need to know when On the Ledge is playing, or
Friday night.
what time, from 1 to 1. I had 2 hours that we priced out.
We,
Was it 7-11?
yeah, we can go 7 to 10, 7 to 11, 7, whatever.
So if it's 7-Eleven, then we have to pay him more.
What you tell him,
2
7,
hours is what I told him.
we can go 8, we can go 7 to 9. And then if he likes it and everything, we'll take a collection right there and they can put it
Okay.
on there
All right, so and he can set up
anytime.
anytime before that.
Cause the tenant will be in there on Thursday. The only thing we're gonna have to do is just go around, set up the tables and put the lights up around the edge and the chairs. And then we can decide at that time whether or not we need to go to the dollar store and buy some cheap tablecloths, depending on what kind of tables they have. 'Cause I don't know.
And what about lights? Did we?
They're bringing them.
Okay.
They're gonna bring them just to hang around the outside. We got electrical that we could run from my place. PDPs will help out too, and we also got across there at the pump station. That we could run electrical out for the bands and everything else.
Now, the Chad and the Fat Cats are paying from 4 to 7:30, Global Village 8 to 11:30.
Tad and the Fat Cats will be playing from 4 till 6:30 because they gotta have, and then once they get tore down, the guy's son will come in and play for like half hour, 45 minutes, whatever, and then the other one is playing 3 hours. Yep. Yep.
Do we need a motion for the final of the summer fest?
I don't think.
We're not completely done just yet with everything right now, because there's some other things that I wanna bring up. I haven't talked to Greg, because at the last meeting, we talked about him bringing that little simulator down. To hook up down there to get people to do, we are gonna do a cornhole tournament down there. Not gonna hire anybody to do it. I know enough people that has cornhole, we can bring them down, I can do all a bracket and do the whole thing right there without having to hire somebody or whatever, but we just need to advertise it. The other thing is, looking at, one of those bounce houses for the kids, because the amusement rides are out, they're too much. He's using all his, it's a totally other area. So we can get a bounce house for $275 for the bigger kids, and I can also borrow a smaller one for free that we use for little kids. But that way you don't have little kids jumping out there with the big kids getting knocked all over the place and everything else. We also talked about doing like maybe some face painting or something like that for the kids to come down early after the show. So that way everything goes together to try to keep them in there. But we're gonna have to figure out the pricing on that. But Gail was helping. Did you get pricing on that?
Yeah, so I have not used that much of my $1,500 for Summerfest because we're not gonna buy a band for Sunday. So I have money left over as far as that goes. But I did look into doing a bubble station, some kind of face painting, and then balloon things so that kids have something to do while the parents are drinking and playing cornhole. So I mean, I investigated it through one people for the balloon things. For 2 hours, it's $250 and it's unlimited balloons. But we can kind of like, that was through an app that's like local people. I reached out to Tom Nemus, Colleen's Fun with, what's it called? Fun with something, just for and they do the balloon down at Winterfest in the Connections with her son. And they had a wedding at their party this weekend, but she said that she probably could come, and it's about $110 a person. So like, we might do like some balloon thing and then a little bit of face painting or something like that, but she wasn't able to get me a quote to bring. But they're very popular down there.
Well, Winterfest, the balloon thing goes crazy, the kids love that.
And she's,
And how many people do they have doing the balloons? 1, 2?
so if we're doing the balloons, I think he just has one person doing the balloons and then one person doing face painting is what it was. And then the bubble station would be going on at the same time in that area. I can tell you the bubbles up at when Tom and Annie had that bubble thing, the kids go nuts about a bubble machine or a bubble station where you just, I mean, I think.
Did they just have the machine? They just put them on?
Yeah, but I'm thinking there's actually a thing where you can get kind of an area where you can play with bubbles, you know, too, on top
Like a
of it.
table, like a water
Yes,
table,
yes.
but filled with bubbles.
Yeah, it's like a kit.
So do you think you have enough?
I have money in my budget,
Uh,
I could fit that in without asking for any more money.
Why don't you,
Good.
why don't you just do that, I think? And have it, yeah.
Okay.
Set it up or whatever.
Yeah, I can even do the bus house. I can do the bus house,
Wow.
yeah, I haven't spent much of the money. A lot of people are donating this and that, so
Well,
their time.
And you said, I heard you say 1,500, but you actually have 2,000 in your budget.
Yeah. But I normally-
Okay,
Yeah.
as long as you got
But
enough.
I'm just saying that.
If you-
like,
if you
it's
could
like
just
just
bring-
things and.
Yeah,
Just
Make
bring us
sure
the
we bring the receipts.
receipts
Yeah.
for whatever it costs you and then,
Okay.
yeah.
And the other thing, we will need a check, but I'll just get a hold of you when they bring that tent out
Oh, is
for the
that,
tent.
is that deluxe tent?
Yep,
Okay, I'm gonna.
don't need it now, but we'll just
Yeah.
wait until it gets closer and I'll just get a hold of you and say, hey, drop off a check.
I will write it today though, because you
That's
and I
fine.
both have to sign it.
Oh,
and
that's
I'll
fine.
just leave it here.
Yeah,
Yep.
that'll be
Yeah.
totally fine.
Simone's is supposed to send you, because I told him to separate between the DDA and the LBCA. So you'll have an invoice coming south for $390.
We're coming here.
I think so. I think I gave her your email.
Okay.
Now,
That's
these-
the only one. That's,
Right?
Oh.
Right.
that was the only
for
one I
us.
had. So that will be, yeah. So she's gonna, I don't know when she's sending it. I will make a phone call and remind her.
Have you guys ever checked with Home Depot for kids events? We did the, Shiawassee Regional Chamber of Commerce's Business Expo. Home Depot showed up and did projects with kids for like
Really?
2 hours.
Oh, like their Saturday project
Yeah.
thing? They do a project once a month on Saturdays. They probably brought the kits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are that's very, yeah,
Yeah.
I did it when they were little.
Only thing I ask for is if everyone, if like, Gail, when you get all of your, everything done, let me know as soon as possible so that we can get it on the big. Advertisement. Yeah. So
I think
like,
I've given you the ones for Thursday, and we have.
Yep.
Tie-dye shirts and painted rocks and. But I will.
Well, then you can definitely put down the bounce house, because we can get those. We will have those there.
So the countdown's begun.
Right, you can actually put down the
Let's
courthouse,
go.
and we'll have that.
Believe it or not, but-
So we're gonna really push it.
For the bounce house.
We could probably have that for the whole day,
Okay.
you know,
And
but
this is
we
kind-
can shut it off. We can start it at 1 o'clock and shut it off like at 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, you know, try to keep everything around the same. Cause later you got 4 o'clock, you got Tad the Fat Cat starting to play.
So
So
when's cornhole's gonna start? Do you think?
I'd start that at 1 o'clock too.
So this is just coming from I'm just gonna ask, I know I mentioned this before, but we had a bounce house before. You really need to have somebody in there monitoring
Yeah.
those kids. Who's gonna do that?
Well, I'll get somebody, don't worry about
Okay,
it.
all right, I won't worry about it, but I'm just
Don't
bringing
worry.
it up because
I've something else too that you.
Want to
need
get
to-
one of the local
need to
trucks,
set
just
down.
come on out.
Yeah.
Here's a beer. Here's a beer.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're putting together a
Sounds
work
great for
chart.
me. Can I do it?
No.
So you got a list
Yes,
of,
we can.
yeah, a list of people, okay.
We can put one together real easy, not a problem, we can do it quick. The only thing that I want to know right now, I'll have to borrow your pen, please. Is you said we got sponsors for the tents, for the bands. I need the name so I can get banners for them.
You know?
Yep.
The LBCA, so Laingsburg. And you. Those are the three.
Forget that.
Now, do we need some banners that say something along the lines DDA? Are we gonna call it a summer events tent? Social district? What do we wanna call it so we can get banners for that
Well,
too?
the social district is the DDA's.
Yep.
DDA social district, so, I mean,
Well, what are we gonna put up so people know that we have the tent, which is not gonna be a beer tent? Are we gonna call it an events tent?
Entertainment.
Entertainment.
That's what I've been calling to everybody.
That's fine. I
Yeah.
just wanna make sure so we can get one for out there, one for out there, then we can start plastering it all over everywhere, so everybody is aware of what's going on, because if they're like me, I'm not gonna get out my phone and take a thing of that little whatever it is
Sure.
to see what's going on.
Well, I don't think the turnaround is 15 though.
Could it be DDA Summerfest Entertainment Tent?
Be anything you
I
want.
mean, then you know that that's DDA's sponsoring.
I was just
it.
gonna say, yeah, have your event,
It has to say DDA.
Right.
We'll say
I
that.
mean, you should get some.
Sponsored by.
Summerfest. I mean, you could put those.
We could,
all
how
over.
about if we get two signs that say DDA Summerfest, and put the dates. And then we get another one and then a couple more that we can put out by the road and at the tent itself. That says DDA Summerfest Entertainment Tent.
Mhm.
No.
Does that work?
sounds fine to me.
Do you have a logos?
I'm not doing that. And the reason why I'm not doing that is because I'm getting these donated.
Right.
And I'm not gonna put extra cost into it. For Twin Oaks, I'm just gonna put his name, probably Dan, and then the name. And then LBCA will just be LBCA and probably underneath, Laingsburg Business underneath that, so people know what LBCA is. And then there's Twilligers. I'll be nice. I'll do Twilligers tanks.
Politics.
So you said, Dan, you're gonna put Twin Oaks though, right? And then,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was thinking right off from Texas.
And
I've
everybody
told
likes
many of
the-
people, you have to make money to pay taxes. If you don't make money, you don't pay taxes.
And everybody's.
All right, so we're good with DDA Summerfest, right?
Yeah.
July 25th and 26th. Because the 26th is the
Friday.
Saturday,
Yeah,
but we're starting on,
Friday.
So I always considered Summerfest Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
we can do
So-
whatever you
So
want.
Thursday is down at the park.
Okay, we'll go 24th,
Yeah, if there's entertainment.
Yeah,
well,
we've got
then
the
people
silent. Or we have
24th
Sunday
through the
Connect-
26th.
the Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Mike, I would be more apt to go the last Thursday through Saturday of July. The dates are gonna change. If you wanna use this year after here.
Yes, like.
Perfect.
like
Very
I was gonna say, you don't wanna put the
That'll
exact,
Very good point, yeah.
the exact date, you just put
Thursday. to-
it's the last,
Weekend of July.
Last Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
well, it was always the pancake breakfast has been the last Saturday in July since its invention.
And the DDA pays for some of the events we have going.
All right, last Thursday through Sunday in July.
What's going on Sunday?
Nothing.
Saturday.
All right, and then for
Yeah,
the tent itself, we're gonna do DDA Summerfest Entertainment Tent. Right?
So go back to your Sunday and put Saturday.
Huh?
It's Thursday to
to
Saturday.
Got it. I just wrote it wrong.
Yeah.
All right, DDA Summerfest. Now, this is gonna be a lot easier than what we had before, because we're not doing the beer, we're not doing all that.
Oh, no, Joe.
Basically, all we're gonna need is a couple people Friday night, a couple people Saturday from like 1 to 4, a couple people from Saturday from 4 to 7, and then a couple from 7 to 11. So we're talking 8 people total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're covered. I'll assign you days and go from there.
So, don't let the people there, get out.
And what are we doing? What do we have to do? Just not
That's
monitor the
Yeah.
beer.
They'll give you a list and whatever Mike says.
Basically, you're just gonna be sitting at the table, collecting money, putting wristbands on the people. I will get the wristbands too. DDA Summerfest Entertainment. Tent.
Yeah, those are the two.
I was thinking that
Yes,
yeah, just be at
yes,
yes, businesses.
How we doing?
That's what we.
We'll tell them.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're not having another meeting before the shindig starts, correct?
And she just figured it out.
Let me know.
Oh.
That's why you're freaking out, because I know who's gonna end up getting called.
He could also, he could call a meeting
show his. I'm actually.
Yeah,
gonna-
that's-
Oh,
yeah,
right,
they're
right,
very
that
well.
was- that was-
You're all my
last weekend,
best
I
friend.
was gone. Like,
Oh.
we're out of town together.
I don't have a quorum of the DDA.
Right.
So I have the okay that I'm gonna start on getting all these banners made up so we can get them up, hopefully get them here
ASAP now.
by next week and
Yeah.
get them up and get them going.
Yep.
The Twin Oaks, the LBCA and Fuller's Tanks, we could hold off, because I'd like to get the other ones first, especially the DDA Summerfest last Thursday through Saturday in July. Get those up ASAP. And then should we put something on there about check this for, schedule of events?
Oh, I'm gonna be plastering it
Okay.
everywhere, so there'll be info everywhere.
If you have
The DDA
coming
Facebook
into
page, you
town,
better have.
we put one on that.
Well, right now there's stuff on there, so we might have to get a couple of, stakes.
I
Post-
think we put them down, we did a Summerfest banner last year and we put it underneath the other.
Right, but I think
Put it
there's,
around them.
so you're gonna have two on top of one another, one and then the other one? I was just thinking if we
There's
get,
nothing down there right now.
There's nothing on this.
There's
one.
nothing
We
on
got- We got music in the park on this one.
Okay.
So that, I always put the Summerfest one that I did last year, I put it on that end, so they'd see it coming this way. They see the music in the park, so you're kind of getting them as they're going
Yep.
both ways.
okay. Get to
Or
it, we'll go from there.
Or if you could sneak one out in, the.
And
Park, yard out front.
as far as the fencing goes,
No.
to fence in, cause we are gonna have to
No,
fence
I
in.
didn't.
Kim, are we gonna have to fence in that area now, even though we're not doing a DDA, beer tent? So we don't have to worry about the fencing or any of that.
That's all part of the social distance.
Okay. So then we'll just set the cornhole
We-
outside the tent.
We will
Right there.
probably be blocking off the parking lot that way though, just so people aren't walking into the parking lot, that's gonna happen on that day, I'm sure. So we'll probably move things down there, so we'll only be able to get out the parking lot one way.
That's fine.
So you're gonna have help at the bounce house starting at 1 o'clock until what time do you think we should stop the bounce house?
Whatever we decide, I would say 4 o'clock, no later.
Yeah, okay. So I was,
No later.
I was thinking 4 o'clock. and
What
then-
we really need to help with is on the little kids. Over there, because we're gonna have two. One's for the little kids that are just, young, cause you don't want them to be older kids or whatnot. So I'll make sure we have help for that. But does anybody wanna volunteer for certain times that they would like to work? The first one would be Friday night. I would probably say we would need to be there if we're opening at 7, say 6:30, 6.
So I can do something on Friday, we close at 6. And Saturday we close at 4,
Okay,
so I could do I don't know, on the first one.
well, you could all just think about it and we all have
That'd be easy.
the
I
text
mean,
with that Kim loves to send out. We all got it, so you can just put it in there.
And then
Well,
And volunteer, because it's not without doing the beer and all that. It's
Very easy.
basically just sitting there. Talking to people, putting the wristband on. And helping with whatever else we need. The big is just gonna be Saturday, really, during the day, just with the bounce house. Which I'll get people to cover. I got enough kids. And I'll get people to help out. We're already doing the balloons and the face paint. And if we do the bubble house too, that'll be all covered. And then I was planning on doing the cornhole, cause that's the least amount of work. That I can sit there and drink while we keep track.
So Friday night, let me ask you this,
Yeah.
that's the only time that people are gonna be buying bracelets, because it's gonna be good for the whole weekend? Did we
Nope,
decide
we're only,
that?
remember,
Yeah.
we're gonna do $10 a night, we decided.
Okay,
Instead of trying to do it, it's just gonna be $10 and
That's
get the band, they can come and go back and forth. The other thing is Amanda went out and she did these up. This is where we're doing why it's so much cheaper now with the cups. It will say you got tanks,
These
folders.
are different, yeah, so I think these are die cut clear. I didn't really.
What's cheaper?
That a cup we can put.
Slap it on that.
Yes.
Slap it on that.
What
That
is
is
it?
ready to go.
Anyway, so these are clear and clear. You have white, I
Yep,
think.
I have the white.
Oops.
And I forgot to bring a cup.
The cups are clear.
The cups will be
The white
clear.
will definitely show white will be better.
And I would prefer to use a white cup. So that way you know what's in it and everything else.
Yeah.
Can I buy your cup?
Clear.
My notebook.
It's a nice cup she's got.
Oh, yeah, you can see right on there. Boom. That looks good.
Yeah, I like the white.
I like the
think it'll
white.
pop. And you notice we gave you guys all your colors. Yours is green, Hank's is black.
I like it. I like it.
Two dogs is red.
So that I think is what's gonna, and what we'll put on the cups. So people will, and that's where we're saving so much money, because Amanda's the one that brought that up. About doing the stickers,
Instead of the.
and then we don't have to buy all these cups. I do
Oh,
have
then
a
we
question.
get any-
Well, then they
Yeah.
could do it anytime they, yeah, they could do it anytime they wanted, as long as they have the stickers.
Now, does anybody know about Two Dogs?
They're supposedly opening the eye for the 8th, 8th or 9th.
July 8th?
Oh, I was thinking they were like close.
That's what I heard from Maggie who works there.
As I said, she still says that's what she's
Yeah.
supposed to write to her.
Yeah.
So how long does it take to get the,
These samples took the longest that anything has ever taken to get to me. I don't know why it took so long,
well, the
so.
reason why I'm wondering, should we do it? Get them for Two Dogs as well, just in case?
Well,
and if they
you're gonna
don't-
put them on any kind of advertising, then they need the cup. So let's talk about price. So the die cut, the clear are a little bit more than the white. The die cut, 10,000 of those are $887. Clearly, you don't want to do that because you need 10,000 of all Twilligers.
Right.
So
Right.
then it goes $3,371. So you're talking like a very, I mean,
You're talking $1,000
for
To do three.
just for 3 of them. Of each one for that, and then at 700 cups per case. At about $80-some a box, so you've got. What would that be? You need what? Glasses, not to cover them all, because we can order the glasses at any
and
time.
you can order
my
more of
suggestion
these,
was-
but we need to know like
I would go 3,000.
how you wanna do it. And maybe it'll be a little bit faster now that this is all in the
Oh,
system
yeah.
and blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, and this is a sample pack.
Could we see some over here?
Absolutely.
Did you do up any for Two Dogs or no?
They were red.
Oh, okay. No, because the sample pack only included 2 different,
Okay,
so I didn't wanna spend
no,
another,
that's fine, no,
I think
agreed,
this was like $30.
agreed.
So I
So-
thought, okay, well, that would be pointless to do
What
that.
I was thinking about getting, or you guys, I was thinking about getting 4 cases, which would be 2,800 cups
In total,
in total.
so then,
Because they come 700, they come 10 packs of 70. So that's 700, you get 4, that's 2,800. Should I get more? Because the reason why, if we need more, they have at Gordon's.
right, and so then
You
you
just
could
run up
just
there.
order this, you could order these. I mean, if you order them for $2 and they don't open, you're out $371.
Right.
But if we don't have them, then
Yeah.
they're leaving
They
them
can't.
out, but they can't do it.
So that's why I'm just wondering, you know, is the $371 worth saving face? I feel like it is.
Yeah.
I do.
Absolutely.
I agree,
When do we have to order them?
probably. Probably sooner than later. I can order them and then I can just submit for the reimbursement.
What are
No,
they?
but I'd like to, I would feel better if they didn't take 20 days.
White one
Those took a while.
is solid. Oh, the
No.
price?
Cheaper.
The cheap, they're just cheaper.
No, there isn't a ton of difference, so, clear 426. It's about $55 difference for 3,000.
And what?
Did you see that white one on her?
The white one's cool, it's just blurry.
These are,
she noticed, and I do agree, but I
I've
don't
got
think it's
bad
a-
eyes already.
it's
so
not a
I'm like,
big deal.
"Oh, is it really?"
I just don't know what it looks like clear wise.
Yeah, I
I
feel like the white better.
Oh, you can see it.
Because the.
Sure.
And you're going on clear too. It's gonna be
Oh,
clear
for
cut.
sure.
Yeah, so it's gonna be
You have to
alcohol
on
in the
that.
background, no, white, I think white.
And it's cheaper.
Well, and the basic thing is you need to know that,
Right,
you know, if you're looking at 12 years,
Right.
takes and
Right.
2 dogs, that's really what you're gonna be painting. Those are the bars are gonna be painted.
By that
Um,
point, you're still
And
blurry.
I do have to say
Yeah.
that I've seen some of the stickers of
Like,
other
you know,
communities and they're nothing like that. They're like, some of them are, I don't even think they're paper.
Yeah.
You're like, just get them wet and stick on there.
label.
Yeah, like they're, yeah.
Labels, I think
So,
these are nice.
I mean, yeah, these are really nice, so in the future, after this event, you decide to go super cheap, I don't think it's.
And if you really divide this out, there,
Not that bad.
it really
No.
isn't, not when.
No.
Well, that's a big
Think
stick.
about what we were, gonna do before.
I was envisioning
Right,
like
we were
something a
gonna
lot
pay
smaller.
$30,000 per cup.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I just think,
I
yeah,
know.
yeah. That's what
and that was her idea, and it was a great idea because
Yeah,
it's
like-
saving
And you
so
can
much money.
Well, and they
Um,
look so, I don't know, they look nice.
Yeah, they look
Yes,
very
they
nice.
do. Looks very nice.
These are under the, in case I croak, these are considered labels, not stickers. They're cheaper to do labels. Stickers are like hard hat sticker material.
No, we stand.
So they're much nicer. So, they're almost twice the price.
Yeah.
So these are under the label heading. And you can go smaller.
No, I love
But I
that
was
sign.
No, I think that's
for the
good.
price-
To be able to
That's
see
nice.
their name on that, no.
Well, they kind of look cool too.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I want one, actually.
So,
Some people know what the DDA.
so I
Yeah,
got,
the DDA.
what do you want me to order or not? I mean, do you want me to order 3,000 of each?
I would.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just gonna say something here, though. Do you think that because Two Dog is not, they're not like you guys, you know what I mean? I know everyone says it's the
So
third bar in
quantity?
town. Huh?
You're wondering about the
Yeah,
quantity?
I don't think you need 3,000. I mean, is that
I
rude?
can't
But that's
remember
forever.
how
I
much.
mean, forever, as long as we have a.
I
Yeah.
see, so they'll,
Not-
well, not
not-
go away.
Way.
Got you,
So you're gonna, there's no date on them. They're not expiring.
true.
You got-
Sells a building.
They throw another bid.
Can we be like, can you just
Yeah.
hang on to this
Split 'em.
name for a little while? We got
Exactly.
2,800
Yeah.
labels left to use.
Do you think we should reach out to them though, and so they understand?
Yeah. He pays taxes and doesn't.
Yes.
Yeah, and I feel like they get kind of been through that. so
Yeah.
we don't need to
Yeah,
affect
I
them.
think for the $300, $400, I mean, it was within our budget, we had planned for it. It could
Move
just be
forward.
sunk cost or we
Let's get
have
it
it
going.
ready.
Yep.
Move along, little doggies.
Do I need approval for the?
I don't think you need to move along, right? It's
No,
all
it's
It's under the
You already have it
It's
all.
under the cut.
Okay.
approved. So just tell.
So if anybody would,
Yeah.
you think of a time that you are able to help, just
Here, you
send
guys
out a
can have
text
these.
message.
Oh,
I'll make up a schedule, and when it gets down closer, I'll be like, this is what we need to cover. Is anybody available to do? And I will also try to get with Greg to see about the simulator down there, if he can still bring that down, because I think that would go over huge for him. I think people would love it, give him a little bit of exposure as well.
I think maybe like
Where
a
will it be
sign up fee. is
located?
Right at the
nice.
10th.
Oh,
Actually, because if you
I
can,
forget what I signed up for.
Me too.
Oh, gosh, and then I look for the email, sign up genius. What did I sign up for?
but, or what do you need? Like, I mean, would we be there from 6 to midnight, or can we split this up here?
Split it,
Yeah,
yeah,
6 to
yeah,
9 or something to,
6 to 8:30, and somebody else come in. I don't even know if you need two people after it gets going. You know, one person might be able to just handle it, and we'll just count how many bracelets you have. And then just mark that up to the amount that you sold to make sure that everybody's honest, and nobody's stealing anything from the side or whatever.
I'm just gonna say from experience, you should have at least two people, because if someone gets sick or something can't come.
2 for
Yeah.
every time period, plus there's no fun being alone.
no, yeah, I was gonna say,
yeah.
I'd make Jim come anyways. I mean.
I don't know.
Well, you
By myself.
Well, I thought we were working, not drinking.
All right, let's get out of here.
So what are we doing with the motion? What are we doing with the chest? We're not doing the chest, we're just doing the pad.
I'm doing the
You already
best.
know.
You can vote on it.
I wanna talk to you while you're right here.
Yeah.
Squirrels.
Don't mind.
Yes, and there's more, I just need some clarification.
And if you want me to go in half on that, I will, we wrote something on the much.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Oh, crap.
You're gonna get.
Yeah,
hopefully
I know,
you
I
take your
got
raise.
I have been to the last
I'm-
three.
Clearly, I've been-
It
He's got my pen.
rained and I didn't want to go down, not to. say. I don't like
Say, I
sitting
get
outside.
next to right-
Doing it really hot.
It's like-
That we could go to this.
You in?
He said it's supposed to be about 82, 83.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's gonna be September the 13th.
Oh.
Okay. Wait, that was fun. Okay, and don't be an Allen.
Yeah.
What, that?
No, that's serious.
What's the